Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it's Swissman15, and welcome back to another Factions in Depth. Today we are doing France. I don't know why I did that a dramatic pause, but we have another special guest here. This one is SpartanQWOP.
Hey guys, SpartanQWOP here.
If you want to say a few things about yourself.
I'm a I'm a YouTuber. I'm a veteran gamer, I guess you can say, on this game. So yeah.
Kipiko disagree.
Yeah, I know he would. Yeah, but ignore him.
And just before we get into this, I do want to mention to you guys, because a few of you have been asking for me to put video of the different troops fighting in these faction depth videos, but I want to explain that I don't have the time to put that in. It takes a long time to record, edit, render, and upload all of these, and it takes a lot of hours, and then doing that would just make it twice or even thrice as long. Thrice, is that a word? So just what this is intended for you to do is listen. Like, it's similar to when Swedish Landsknecht and Elita did the top factions rankings. I listened to it while I was doing like homework or something, so I was doing something at the same time to focus, and so you don't have to stare at the banner, but this is just for you to listen to if you find a way to do that. Alright, but getting into France, of course we should always start with Cav, and I think the first most notable Cav there is the Noble Knights. So what say you about them, Spartan?
Noble Knights. I don't think they're as good as the Knights Hospitaller, in my opinion.
How? Wait, whoa, pause, how?
Because because, because the Knights Hospitaller can have two. You can upgrade it twice in defense,
Yeah,
whereas
but
the
it has
Chivalry
one less
Knights
defense to
you
start,
can't,
so in the end
and
they have
Noble
the same
Knights.
stats.
Yeah, that's true.
And it just costs more, so the Noble Knights are better cost-effective wise, and they have the same melee fully upgraded.
I don't think they do as good though.
I
To be
think they do
fair,
better. I don't know, I haven't used Noble
do
Knights
you?
too
I
often
don't know.
lately. Okay, well, I think we can agree that they're both good cav, both heavy cav. They're standard enough. They will get you through a fight. They're more cost effective than Knights
Yeah, that's true.
Hospitaller, and they have the good charge and everything. But is there anything specific you want to say about them?
No, not really. I mean, if you can afford them, then go for them. But
Yeah, and then at the same level, there's the Chivalric Knights, which are the exact same thing, cost wise and everything. Um,
but for French cab though, I wouldn't go for Lancers, for example,
yeah, don't
because they're
use
just
them.
awful.
They
Don't
cost
use them at
so
all.
much, and you can't upgrade them, and they just don't do as well because they don't have the shield, and for some
They're
reason
just
the
really
armor
bad.
doesn't
Yep,
work.
they don't have a shield.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
don't weight armor properly in this game, unfortunately. But I think a really underrated unit that the French have are the gendarmes that are good for low money battles because it's a good charge cav, and it's decently cheap. Have you any experience with them?
I've never actually used them. Well, they didn't have a shield either, do they?
No, but
So
they're so cheap and they have so much armor that for like a low money battle, that they could actually be pretty effective.
okay, I'll take that in mind for next time.
Yeah,
But
just I haven't played too many low money battles, but I used it once in a low money battle. It wasn't that good a battle, that's why I never uploaded. But it was still nice to have a nice cost-effective unit that's actually pretty decent. Um,
all right.
and I think the final cav, rather infamous in some cases, the French mounted archers. I happen to love that unit. How do you feel about them?
Yeah, you've caught me off guard with them a few times in some games. But
What's
no, they're really good if you can afford them and you can
Yeah, that's true.
take definitely take them with you.
They're
But
definitely
they're probably the most expensive, aren't they?
Oh yeah, they're like 1,000 something,
Like fully
1,070,
upgraded,
I
they're about
think.
1,245, so they're pretty dear.
Yeah, they take a lot of your finances. That's why they're good with if you're gonna do a pike box just for fun or if you think it'll work if someone's rushing, that will help you because
Yep.
it'll force them to move quicker. So that's what I did against Vlad actually. The French mounted archers really helped me, and then you can get a rear
Yep.
charge with them because they're pretty fast, but they are expensive after all. But final note on them is
Yeah,
that
they're
they
pretty
do.
good at melee as well.
Yeah, they
They're not
are
that
actually
bad.
pretty good. That thank you for mentioning that. I think they have a Charger 4. Do you know?
Yeah, they have a charger 4, yeah.
Yeah, and finally, they do have the effective against armor with their bows, so they can fire quickly and do armor piercing. Unlike most composite bow archers.
Oh, I never knew they had armor piercing.
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very useful.
Ah,
It's like
that's probably why they're
for
so
some
effective.
reason the Mongol horse archers don't do that, but the French do. What? All right.
Yeah, it's
But I think that's pretty much all for the cav in that regard. Of course, next is infantry.
also if you're playing like a low money battle, go for knights. They
What knights?
they may look really bad, but they can be really useful.
What knights?
Male knights, yeah.
Oh, mailed knights. But everyone has mailed knights. It's not unique to France.
That's true. But I'm just saying.
We're talking about
But,
France
yeah.
here. We're not talking about the other scrub factions. Vive la France! Okay. So going on infantry, their heavy infantry is pretty basic, I think we'd agree. Dismounted Trivik Knights and dismounted Field Knights.
It's pretty much the same as any other faction.
They're
to be fair.
solid. Do you have anything notable to say about them?
Just good infantry, like every other faction, to be fair.
But I think we can agree that is the strength of France, especially the infantry, is the pike slash voliger, because they're not really halberds, but they have a lot of good pikemen and everything. So
Yeah,
Swiss
that's true.
pikemen,
Yep.
for example. Which are of these pike units do you like the best?
If I were playing a game, I'd probably go for Swiss pikemen
Yeah.
or
usually,
or the original pikemen in myself. But
yeah, the original pikemen are cheaper, but they don't do as well and they have a morale. And the
yeah, that's
Swiss
true.
pikemen
Yeah.
are like one of the few pikemen that have good morale, which is really useful. But sometimes I think it's better to take Flemish because the Flemish have armor, which the Swiss do not. So if they think there's going to be a lot of missile fire, the Flemish might suit you better.
Yeah, and they're pretty cheap as well. They're not that bad in price.
Yeah, that's true. 370 for the Flemish and 420 or 450 for the Swiss pikemen. I'm not sure, but they're both cheaper than any.
470 for Swiss pikemen and 344 Flemish.
Oh, okay. I had the 70 right, I guess, sort of. Do you have any experience with the Voliger? I never really used them. I just stuck to the basic pikes when using France, so I don't know anything.
Nah, I've never used them myself.
Yeah,
I don't know how good they are in the
This is
game.
where Parlent Bob would be helpful. He would know all about the
Yeah.
Voliger. He uses all of them. He knows France like the back of his hand.
Nah, that's true.
But so if you're ever going to do a pike spam or use pikes or pike box, which is sometimes fun, France is probably one of your best choices because it has these pikemen and layer units that we'll talk about, the archers that go along with it. So yeah, Swiss pikemen and Flemish pikemen are probably going to be basic ones, but regular pikemen come in, and then the Voliger, which do have effective against armor, and they do have some armor themselves. I don't know. Don't know how to use them. Don't ask me about them. But if you need more, find someone who's used them before, because I don't see them used very often. Because they're pretty expensive for pikemen. They have all the benefits without much of the rewards. So archers. Which archer would you like to start with?
Should we go for the Scots Guard first?
Oh, of course.
What do you say? The most expensive?
Yes, let's go into price order of French archers.
Most expensive Scots Guard.
What are they? 800, right?
800, yeah.
Okay. So
To be fair, I wouldn't use them for skirmish.
Yeah, if you're gonna do a field battle, pitch battle with a
That's the number
skirmish,
one rule.
they will not beat crossbows, or they won't beat them enough. If you're doing them against Pavi's crossmen that are in the 500s versus them in the 800s, you'll lose a lot more than you're gonna gain from using the Scots Guard, and you probably lose the skirmish too. Scots Guard are very good for when using pike boxes because they can get the right angle, or if you're
that's true.
in a rush. Yeah. I thought
Yeah,
you were gonna say
yeah.
something. And definitely during sieges.
Yeah, going for a rush. That's a good thing. Because they can be used for melee as well.
Yeah, they have 11,
Which they can be very effective.
Yeah, 11, 17.
12, 17.
I bet you've used them in a siege before, right?
Yeah, all the time, yeah.
Yeah, so how do you use them, perchance?
Either put them on high ground or put them on walls. And then, if...
I don't know about the walls, because they might be shot down.
Well, that's true. But you can put them on the sides, though.
Yeah, but they're definitely really effective if you put them anywhere. They have the bows, so they get a good angle opposed to crossbowmen who need a lateral sort of shot. Um, but what they can also do is that once they shot all their arrows, which happens pretty quick because they're bowmen, they can go into the melee,
Yeah.
which is a good backup, and they have the good morale and everything, good stamina. Um, is there anything important about to say them besides they're Scottish? Okay.
They're just really expensive. Just, just
They're
don't,
really expensive, so most of the time you can't.
just don't use them in
Yeah,
field battles
definitely. I think France is not much of a balanced faction
unless you're doing a new
with,
box.
because all their archers are expensive. Like the next archer we have is the dismounted French archer. I don't know why anyone would ever use them. Have you used them before?
I have used them in siege battles. That's
Why?
probably the only time ever.
But why?
Because they're just a bit cheaper than Scots Guard, and they still do the same job.
I mean, I feel like the 50 florins is worth the paying for getting Scots Guard instead, because the Scots Guard
Yeah, that's
have
true.
so
But
much
if you
better
get if you get
stats.
like 3 Scots Guard, the price goes up. So
You get 4 Scots Guard, that's all you need.
down ground for it.
I personally,
But
I would never
I'd still
get
use them.
dismounted French archers. I don't think they're worth the money in a pose when you can get Scots Guard instead. I think I would stay away from them. But apparently Spartan likes them.
Use them in sieges. That's my advice.
I use the Scots Guard first, even then. And then finally we have the Aventurier, which are 690, I believe. Is that true?
Yep,
Okay.
that's true. Yeah.
And they have better melee than the dismounted French archers, and they are crossmen. However, they don't use the standard longbow type of shot.
Yep.
And they're gonna do well in a skirmish, but the problem is that they cost so much more than pavis or something that it's not worth using them because they're not gonna perform that much better.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But if you get a good lateral shot, they'll do more missile damage than the Scots Guard can. They have more power to that. Do you have anything specific to say?
They're still
about
pretty effective though in games.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, they're still pretty effective. I mean, if you're a bit of a stuck, well, if you're stuck charging into an enemy, then you can use them in melee, and that can help you out
Yeah.
really well. That's what I say the French archers are good for.
Yeah.
Really.
The French archers are definitely
For melee
archers.
slash. Yeah.
Now, the one thing I have to say is that since all these archers that we talked about are really expensive archers, generally I don't think doing a balance is worth it because you'll pay so much for the archers and probably not get the same benefit while shooting. You
Yeah,
probably
that's
want to
true.
either
Yeah.
use a pike army where you can actually rely on them to do well in the skirmish enough, or use them in a rush and then have them as backup because they will have the good melee to hold you together and everything. And so if you have the money, you get the Scots Guard. If you don't, you get the Aventurier, and just change how you use them. Do you have anything against what I said there?
No, I totally agree with you there. That's fair
Spartan
advice.
agrees with what I said. Point Swissman 15. All right, that
But
was
yeah, if you're going for Fran, so just mainly go for a rush.
yeah.
or a
it's
new
definitely
box.
rush faction.
Either one of those.
Now, what I think we should address, even though it's been addressed in the Holy Roman Empire faction video, actually both these units are. I forgot that the French had it. The religious fanatics. Please tell me you love them.
They are amazing. They're probably the best meat shields that you can buy.
And since France is a rush faction, you can use them as probably the best speed shield that you will ever need. Only 180 florins, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
180 florins.
Just a little bit of delay. So you only use them just to guard them as a meat shield. You don't use them for anything else.
I'd probably just use them as a meat shield and maybe flank around.
Yeah, they're
But-
good for flanking. They have a decent charge actually, and they have the good morale trait. Which
Yeah,
makes them-
charge of 6. It's
Yeah.
pretty good.
And I've seen Criminal Copykill use them in a Cav fight, which is actually pretty smart since they do have the good attack that Cav doesn't like. And they have no defense, so they're just so trash. It doesn't matter if they're in the Cav fight.
I
because they
know,
just kill enough. If they kill one Cav, they paid their money's worth, I think. more than we can
They have
infantry.
surprisingly good morale though, as well. To
Yeah,
be
they
fair.
have the good morale trait, which like peasants don't have that. Peasants have poor morale, in fact.
Yeah, that's true.
And pike militia or other meat shields, they don't have any specific morale
Yeah.
traits, so they just don't do as well. But the unit I was originally thinking of that we should talk about was the serpentine. Now, have you used that before?
Oh god.
Oh god.
Yes, I have used that. It's probably the best art they have.
Yeah. It's again just to stress, it's not for buildings. It's against units only. But it's so deadly against units because
Yep.
it takes out columns of them, and it's so long range and accurate. It's insane. Um, have you do you have you used them in a siege battle before?
A few times.
Yeah, they're particularly good on
They can
defense.
be
No, go on. Go
pretty
on.
good. No, they can be, if you put them on high enough ground where you can shoot your enemies to death, then yeah, go for it.
Like if
In
you're
the
in a
siege.
citadel or something and you go put them on the
Yeah.
high courtyard and overlooking an alley, that alley will be safe from anything ever. But also, since France can do a pike army, you could always use a in a pike army to force your enemy to rush. Maybe. Um,
Yeah.
It's always hard to use pike armies, but having a serpentine will definitely help your cause just a tad bit. It'll force your enemy to act and try to stop it. Is there any unit that we missed? Do you know? Can you think?
It's probably it, really.
Yeah, okay.
Unless you want to have a go at the dismounted noble knights, but
Oh, the dismounted. Oh, yeah! I forgot about them. We're just jumping all around the place with these units right now. But they're great against cav, that's for sure.
great against cav, yeah.
And
Would
they're
not use
actually
them in
cheaper than other
infantry.
infantry. Yeah.
That's true, yeah.
They cost the same as pavis. So that's always good. And they will beat pavis in melee, which is always good. They won't beat other infantry, but you can use them for a flank or the cav fight. They're just more. They're like They're successful religious fanatics. Religious fanatics that can actually do something.
Yeah.
They got the strong attack and armor and morale and charge. So just use them against cav mostly or for flanking, and you'll be good. They're not going to win in 1v1 against feudal knights or chivalric knights.
No, that's because of the two-handed glitch, right?
Yeah, definitely.
On this game.
I feel the only unit that doesn't really suffer from it for some reason is the what do you call them, Varangian Guard of the Byzantines, but we'll get there in a different episode, guys. But do you have any final points to say about France? What do you want to say about the balance, the cost of it, any important notable features?
Okay, overall then, France is just a really expensive faction, depending on what units you pick. But it can be for us and for defending castles or whatever. So use them for that.
Yeah, as you said, very expensive, especially with the archers. But of course, it is balanced with the pikes. But when you're someone like me who doesn't like to use them too often, unless you're doing a full pike on army, you can't balance with them unless you're using the pikes to balance out the finances. And also, the cav is rather expensive for what they can do.
That's true.
Still
Yeah.
more cost effective than Knights Hospitaller. But yeah, overall, a rush faction and a great siege faction. I think we agree on those two standards.
Yeah, yeah.
And pike army faction. And I think that's pretty much all we addressed. We went through that rapid fire, man. 18 minutes.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. All right. So I just want to thank you for coming on here. I really appreciate it.
That's fine. Thanks for inviting me.
We can all wait to hear what Kipika has to say about and trash us for all his things. Just because you're on here, he'll
Oh,
trash
God.
us. Kipika's revenge.
It would just give you a whole list of the things that we've done wrong and stuff.
Yeah. Well, no, actually, he's going to focus on you. I feel like he likes to
yeah,
focus on you with criticism and such.
Yeah.
So,
Can't wait for that.
Thank you so much for coming, and I just hope you guys
You're
like...
welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Just, guys, like, comment, subscribe, tell me what you think, and I'm sorry that I can't put any video, I just don't have that kind of time. And I'll see you all in the next episode. Goodbye, my friends.